Get started, I just want to say welcome, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us today for the No Kid Hungry Summer 2026 webinar series. My name is Robin Hernandez, and I'm the Senior Program Manager for the Center for Best Practices team at No Kid Hungry. And today we are going to be talking about different program models. Our topic is from Pickup to Porch, Best Practices for Diverse Rural Non-Congregate Meal Distribution. Next slide. So some things to know before we begin. The slide deck will be shared with all of our registrants via email after the webinar, along with the recording. So make sure that you have officially registered. If you use somebody else's link, make sure you register again so that you can have access to the recording and everything after the conclusion of the webinar. We also encourage you to use the chat box throughout the webinar to engage with other attendees. The webinar will also conclude with Q&A, so please submit your questions throughout the webinar. The best way to do this is through the Q&A box, which is at the bottom of your screen, and we will get those questions answered as time permits. So our speakers may be able to type in answers before the end. If not, we will try to get to them all at the end of the call. We are also committed to making our webinars accessible and inclusive. Closed captioning is available, and you can turn that on the bottom of your Zoom screen. So now let's review our agenda for today. So for today, we are going to hear from an amazing panel of speakers who are going to share all about their rural non-congregate summer meal programs. We're going to hear about a grab and go program in Kentucky. We're going to hear about a mobile meals program in very rural Arizona and a home delivery program from Virginia. And then we will wrap up with Q&A and closing. Next slide. But before we jump in, just a quick update for you all. As summer is fast approaching, I want to share with you our family-facing website that can connect kids all over the country to meals this summer. So please add nokidhungry.org/help and nokidhungry.org/ayuda for Spanish to your public-facing channels. This website connects families to the USDA meal site finder so they can search for summer meal sites in their areas. It also provides them access to information on summer EBT for their area and resources for families who may need food support during the summer. So please, this is a wonderful family-facing resource that is wonderful for partners and sponsors alike to share and get families connected to food. Next slide. So at this time, we always like to remind you that our speakers that you're going to be hearing from today are going to be representing their own experience with summer meals and non-congregate programs in their states and localities. Certain program models and implementation methods discussed today may be restricted in some states or approved on a case-by-case basis at the discretion of state agencies. So always check with your local state agency before implementing any new meal service models or implementation methods for summer. Next slide. So just wanted to give you a quick introduction. Our speakers for today, we are joined by Mackenzie Suter, who's the Director of School Nutrition and Marshall County Schools in Kentucky. We are also joined by Lorinda Awita, who is the Director of Food Services at Stanfield Elementary School District in Arizona, and Christy Lawson, the School Nutrition Director of Giles County Public Schools in Virginia. Next slide. So very excited to bring in our first speaker today. Mackenzie Suter is the Director of School Nutrition for Marshall County Schools in rural Western Kentucky, where she oversees all school nutrition programs. With more than 8 years of experience in school food service leadership, she is committed to providing high-quality meals and positive dining experiences for students. Mackenzie serves as treasurer for the WKEC Food Service Group, member of the Kentucky Commodity Advisory Council, serves on the HPS Bid Committee, and a member of the WKEC Procurement Committee. Mackenzie is passionate about serving students and continually working to strengthen school nutrition programs through leadership, collaboration, and innovation. And today she's going to be sharing with you the how-tos of her amazing Grab and Go Summer Meals program in Kentucky. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mackenzie.
Thank you. Next slide. Okay, there we go. Hi, I'm excited to share Marshall County's Grab and Go Sun Meals model with you today. Our Grab and Go model is about one simple goal: making sure every child has easy access to nutritious meals during our summer months. When school is out, hunger doesn't take a break, as we know, and for many families, reliable meal access becomes even more challenging. Our program tries to help bridge the gap in a way that is convenient, accessible, and family friendly. For our program to be successful, it has to work for families. Our grab and go model allows families to quickly and efficiently pick up meals, multiple meals at a designated location, making healthy food accessible to all. A great deal of planning goes into making this happen, from strategically choosing distribution sites to designing a process that keeps traffic moving safely and efficiently to the meal packaging solutions. Every detail is built with our families in mind. Our goal is to create a system that is not only effective, but welcoming and easy to navigate. Next slide, please. A little bit about us. Marshall County spans approximately 340 square miles in rural Western Kentucky and is home to nearly 31,800 residents, including 4,300 students. All 9 of our schools participate in the community eligibility provision. Approximately 12 of our population lives in poverty, and food insecurity impacts 1 in 5 children, meaning far too many kids face uncertainty about where our next meal will come from. That's why our summer meal program is so critical. In June of 2025 alone, we provided 115,660 meals to children in Marshall County. We work hard to bridge the gap between when school ends and summer feeding so that our students consistently have access to nourishment that they need to learn, grow, and thrive. We provide 7 breakfasts and 7 lunches each week. To make that possible across our large rural community, we operate 2 meal packaging sites and 6 pickup locations. This allows us to extend our reach, reduce travel burdens for families, and make meal access convenient. Our weekly operation runs on a very carefully coordinated schedule designed to keep the process efficient, organized. Sorry. Can everyone hear me? I'm sorry, I just saw the
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I saw the message. Let's see. Tuesdays are if you can go back. I'm sorry, go back a slide. I'm sorry. I was reading the message, the note down there. Tuesdays are dedicated to packaging our shelf-stable meal components, allowing us to prepare items that can be safely stored until distribution. Wednesdays, our GFS order is delivered and our focus shifts to packaging frozen meal items only. Thursdays, everything comes together as we load buses and distribute meals to families across our community. This structured schedule keeps our operation running smoothly, allows staff to work efficiently, and ensures families can count on a consistent, dependable process each week. This schedule has remained in place since our meal program began. While we have made adjustments over time to improve how meals are packaged, prepared, and distributed, maintaining the same weekly schedule has provided valuable consistency for both staff and families, making the entire process more efficient and manageable for everyone. Our grab and go meal packaging journey began during COVID, and while it never really went away, we quickly realized our original process wasn't built for long-term sustainability. Can you go to the next slide, please? I'm sorry. A local endowment approached me back in 2020 with an incredible opportunity, a $10,000 grant if we had a meaningful way to use it. That sparks them brainstorming in one key question: how can we make our packaging process more efficient and durable? Previously, we were relying on Walmart bags. They got the job done, but anyone who has packed over 1,500 meals a week or more or less knows how frustrating it is when bags rip and tear. They slow down the process. They create unnecessary headaches for staff and families. That led us to a much better solution: drawstring backpacks and for shelf-stable items, and reusable insulated coolers for frozen items. The difference has been tremendous. Not only has the new system streamlined our packaging distribution process, but it also improved organization, reduced waste, and help ensure each child receives the correct meal kit each week. When we were using Walmart sacks, it would get confusing sometimes because we would still have a frozen bag and a shelf-stable bag, and it would get confusing as to which one they had. With this process of using 2 different bags, we know each student gets a drawstring backpack and each student gets a cooler bag and a gallon of milk. That's a kit for a week. The feedback from our families has been overwhelmingly positive. What started as a creative solution to an operational challenge became a yearly investment that truly improved the experience for both our team and our families. Next slide, please. Our summer meals program is truly a community effort. It its success is only possible because of the incredible support we received from our district and our local partners. This year, we have 28 Sunmeal employees and 8 student workers. As an incentive, some staff working summer feeding receive an additional $6 an hour for their time. One of the most inspiring parts of this program is the way our district staff step up to serve each week. In May, I send out a district-wide call for volunteers to assist with Thursday meal distributions, and spots fill almost immediately. It's a chance for staff to reconnect with students, serve families, and make a direct impact on their community. And honestly, they really, really enjoy it. And we enjoy the help also. Our community has also showed up in incredible ways as well. Community members generously volunteer their time without even being asked. In 2020, I asked the community for help, and they showed up big. Since the efficiency of our program has improved significantly since 2020, we no longer need volunteers for the day-to-day operations to help package meals, but we still have community members reaching out to me each summer saying, how can I help? Of course, we allow them to come help. We welcome them with open arms. And then we also have the support of our local law enforcement. Next slide, please. Safety and efficiency are some of our top priorities. To help manage this, we partner closely with the local law enforcement to assist with traffic control and help keep the distribution process moving. Before summer feeding begins, we share a detailed traffic flow map so that the families know exactly how to enter and exit each parking lot of the pickup locations. Setting the expectation ahead of time has helped reduce confusion, minimize delays, and create smoother experience for everyone. This process we developed through experience and a little bit of trial and error. Early on, before implementing traffic maps and partnering with law enforcement, we faced significant challenges, like I'm sure most of you have, with vehicles traveling the wrong direction through parking lots, traffic backing up onto roadways, businesses contacting me because we were blocking entrances. It took some reworking, some problem solving, and those lessons help us create a much more effective system. Now this process has become a key part of ensuring our meal distributions are safe, organized, and efficient for both family and staff. And this is maybe simple to some, but this is just an eagle eye view from Google Map, and I just snipped it and put the arrows in. If anyone has struggles with how to figure that out, there you go. Next slide, please. In the end, our summer meals program is about far more than food. It's about meeting a need in our community. Through planning, hardworking staff, and a reliable process, we are able to provide children with nutritious meals when school is out and families need support the most. We remain committed to ensuring every child has access to nourishment they need to be for a happy, healthy summer. John Kane once said, "Summer should be fun for kids. They should be thinking about their next summer adventure, not where their next meal come from." This is the belief. This belief is the heart of our work at Marshall County Schools. Next slide. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat and I can answer them, or I'll answer them at the end of my presentation.
Thank you so much, Mackenzie. And actually, I'm going to direct our folks to please put the questions in the Q&A box if you can. It'll be easier for us to keep track of them and make sure that they actually are for sure getting answered. So please do add them to the Q&A box now. I know you probably have lots of questions on that amazing program. Mackenzie, the bag system that you have is really, really great. And then just the way you're able to gather volunteers and district employees and the way they came out for your program and showed up is amazing. I know that there's probably a lot of questions going to come your way about that because I know staffing these programs is something that a lot of folks are very interested about. So thank you so much for sharing about your program. So now we're going to be moving on to Lorinda Elawita, who is a food service director for a small rural district in Arizona, and she served her district for 13 years. She started out in finance and worked as a liaison for her district's food service department. And in 2023, she took over as food service director. She actively serves on the AASBO, ASBO, as the Arizona Association of School Business Officials, and SNAS, which is the School Nutrition Association of Arizona board. She's worked very hard to develop a strong mobile meals program, which she will be sharing with you today. Welcome, Lorinda.
Hello.
Hello, thanks for joining us.
Next slide. Okay, so I do mobile delivery program, non-congregate feeding. The reason we do this is because after COVID, we noticed that we weren't getting a lot of participation, and we knew we could reach out to the community a lot more if we were able to deliver the meals to the kids. We only have one school in our district, and we are very rural. Next slide. We are located between Casa Grande and Maricopa in Arizona, and we have one school. We service our community as well as the Tohono O'odham Indian Reservation. Our current enrollment this year is 333 students, pre-K to 8. We do not have a high school in our district. Those kids either go to Casa Grande or Maricopa, depending on where they live in our community. This is our third year offering non-congregate delivery style, and every year it's just getting bigger and better. So we're confident that this is the program for our community and our kiddos. Next slide, please. So in year one is when I took over as food service director because we got rid of our food service management company, and we did 5-day meal service. We served about 356 students, and that includes our high school kiddos that live in our community. And we did 7,085 meals in 30 days. We do not deliver the 2 weeks that we had summer school. Last year, we did 5 days of meal service. We served less kids, but we served more meals in 30 days, and we distributed all summer. And then this year, we were approved for a 7-day meal service. So we're offering non-congregate meal service for summer school, which was actually just canceled. So we don't have to worry about summer school, but we will be delivering from the beginning of June. Our school year starts on July 21. And so we're ending it on July 12th just to give our food service employees a buffer of a week to take kind of rest and do stuff. Next slide, please. So our first 2 years, we did a Tuesday and Thursday delivery cycle. On Tuesday, we would deliver 2 days worth of food, and on Thursday, we would deliver 3 days worth of food. We place all our food in 160 quart coolers. We load them on a bus, and we have approved bus stops that count as our site, where the driver delivers the food to the kids. On Mondays, we do our prep. I use 2 of my food service workers for 8 hours each. On Tuesday and Thursday, we prep and pack. So first we pack, and then when the buses go out, we prep for Thursday. And then on Thursday, we also have 2 bus drivers. We use 2 bus drivers for every day. So I used to use about 96 hours a week in labor. Next slide. This year, we are going to the 7-day delivery. I think everyone was very used to our Tuesday and Thursday delivery, so we decided to just keep that the same with Monday as our prep day. So on Tuesday, instead of delivering 2 meals, we'll be delivering 3. And on Thursday, instead of delivering the 3, we will be delivering 4 to make a total of 7 meals. That includes breakfast and lunch. The staffing is myself as well as my 2 food service workers. And then I have some part-time people coming to help because we have more food to pack. And last year there was a lot of ICE involvement in our community, and kids were hesitant to walk from their house to the bus stop, which aren't really very far, but when there's like a fright, they just they don't want to risk it. So we have bus monitors this year to help out with the delivery with the bus drivers. So if the kids doesn't want to get out, the bus monitor can get out and hand the kids the food. Next slide, please. We have 2 routes. The blue route has less stops, but it does travel to the reservation. It's about an hour and 15 minutes to our furthest stop in the reservation. So that's why that route has less stops. The other route, which is called the red route, is our community route. And school pickup is available from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Tuesday and Thursday as well. And those are mainly for the people who live right around the school area, since we can't really deliver to them. And they just come and they pick up from the office. Next slide, please. So in 23 or prior to 23 and 24, we noticed that parents are working and they were not able to bring their students to pick up the food, and school was too far for students to come eat or pick up food. The other challenge last year was, like I said, ICE presence in our community. So we felt that there was a need for bus monitors to hand out the food to students who feel safe, so they wouldn't have to walk from the bus to their house. And you saw that we have a lot of bus routes. So our houses are very pretty much spread out all over the place. And then we also realized that since we're doing 7 days, there's more food to pack. So that's why I hired the monitors to help pack and then ride on the bus to deliver the food. Next slide, please. So we do use grocery bags. We get them from our distributor, Shamrock, and they're extra large, kind of thicker bags. We mix everything together because they're only getting this year 3 days and 4 days, and everything fits in the bag. And then what we do is we roll the coolers with furniture movers out to the bus lane, which is right outside the cafeteria. And we kind of have like an assembly line. So we put the cooler on the ground and we put an empty cooler in the bus. And then we kind of just hand each other the bags to fill up the coolers. And then they drive them to the stops. Next slide, please. So as you can see in our community, which is the picture on the left, houses are very close together and kids don't really have to walk that far. And then on our reservation, kids are a little bit further away, and they're not walking like a mile to get their food, but maybe like 150 feet rather than right outside of their house. Next slide, please. And that's all I have. If you guys have any questions, please put them in the Q&A, and I will be happy to answer those when we get a chance. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Lorna. That was amazing. Love seeing the pictures of your program. It really kind of helps bring it to life to help us envision how you're managing to get all the food to these kids. So yes, please add any questions you have to the Q&A box, and we'll try to get through as many as we can. Next slide, please. Okay, very excited now to move to our next guest speaker, Christy Lawson. And Christy has served as the Giles County Public Schools Director in Virginia. She's been there since 1991 and retired in 2022, but came back to work in the same position in May 2025 for an 18-month fill-in to train a new director. Her motto has always been, "You have very little to do with when you're born or when you die, but you have everything to do with the dash in the middle." Christy has developed and implemented a home delivery program that reaches their kids in the summer, and we're very excited to have her share with you a little bit about how that program works today. Welcome, Christy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and good afternoon from Virginia. Thank you for having me. So Giles County is a very small rural county in Southwest Virginia, about 20 miles of Virginia Tech. Our student enrollment currently is about 2,100. Next slide. Our 2025 summer feeding program was a huge success, and we would like to share with you today how we accomplished that and what we plan to do to make 26 even better. We planned 25 in less than 4 weeks with major assistance from the Virginia Department of Education. They were wonderful to help us. Registered children through a Google Doc survey. We developed bus routes, we hired staff, and ordered food. The registration process went very smoothly. We advertised our program on Facebook and in our local newspaper, and within 2 weeks, we had everyone registered and all in one document. Bus routes were designed with safety in mind, but we planned for door-to-door delivery to every single child's home. Another helpful idea was someone suggested freezing our half gallons of milk to help with hot temperatures, and it worked beautifully. Next slide, please. So packing day was exhausting, but fun. We had approximately 35 staff and volunteers manning 2 lines down our cafeteria. We prepped the frozen bags first by having stations at each item, as you can see in our pictures. We filled the bag with our item, passed it to the next person, and on down the line. The person at the end of the line then tied that t-shirt bag and placed it in a bin, which eventually got moved into our freezer. And this was a huge struggle trying to fit over 1,000 bags in a very small space. It was like playing Tetris. Fresh items like fruits, vegetables, and greens were then packed in a separate bag donated by Food Line. Those were the heavy duty bags that you can purchase at stores for like $1 a piece. They donated them every single week. Once those bags were filled, we placed those down the school hallways and on cafeteria tables. Next slide, please. You can see the organization involved in this. On our biggest day, we served 1,073 children, which meant 3,219 bags. We set the initial 1,073 dry bags in order of when the buses were to come and load that next day. This helped with workflow because everything was ready for that next day. Next slide. Delivery day. Buses arrived at our school on a staggered loading schedule about every 20 minutes. We had 9 buses, different routes going throughout our whole county. We formed an assembly line to load the bags onto each bus. Drivers were given a bus route with address, time, number of bags, and phone number listed for every single child registered. Once the bags were given to children, drivers marked off that stop, and that was our count for that particular location. And we always reminded parents and children to meet our bus when it arrived. However, they didn't always do that, so we did have permission to leave the food bags at an identified location, preferably in a cooler provided by that parent. You can see in this picture the precious child carrying his guitar while getting his food bag. He did this every single delivery. Next slide, please. Pictured here is our cool superintendent and the Virginia Delegates family who helped us every week. They've also signed up to help every week this year too, and our community truly cares. Next slide. So the picture on the left is how we process the milk the first couple of weeks, but then we quickly switched to the method on the right picture because it was a much smoother process to have the milk truck remain on site, and we loaded the milk directly from the truck onto the school bus through a conveyor belt. The milk was left in the crates while on the school bus, and staff bagged the milk as they approached each bus stop. Next slide, please. So these pictures show our assembly line and how we stack the milk crates on the buses. We also learned quickly not to stack the crates more than 4 high. Don't ask me how I figured that out on delivery day 1. Next slide, please. And this is just a summer recap showing you all the buses that we had and the number served for each day. Grand total of over 114,000 miles for a very small rural county. We thought that was just incredible. Next slide, please. So even though 25 was a great year, we want bigger and better for 26. The generated revenue from last year we rolled back into our school nutrition program, but we did not do it for the revenue. We did this because we wanted to help families with children. The only complaint from last year was some of our buses got off track the first couple of weeks naturally, but as those times got more accurate, 0 complaints, 0. So for 26, we have over 1,200 children registered already. That's over 500 home sites we're going to go door to door. We are using grant money from No Kid Hungry to have contests throughout the summer, and we're going to award Barnes & Noble gift cards. We are also hiring our current high school juniors and seniors to help us with the program. It's a great opportunity for students to practice interviewing skills, offer them some financial support, and help our program. It's a win-win. Next slide, please. And this is just a picture of our contest brochure. And it just shows we're going to do them individually each week and then award Barnes & Noble gift cards. So thank you for allowing us to highlight our summer feeding program in Giles County Schools. Be sure and put all your questions in the Q&A. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Christy. Amazing program you have. It's really impressive to hear how many students you already have registered for summer. We've already had a lot of questions so far. At this point now, we can kind of bring all of our speakers back. You're welcome to all come on camera now, and we can talk a little bit more and answer some of these questions live as well. I know several of them have already been answered in the Q&A box, so our participants are free to go back and read through those as well. But there are some recurring themes I think we can all kind of talk about here and give you guys a chance to weigh in on. Um, First, I just want to point to Mackenzie. There was a lot of questions about your bags. I'm wondering if you could just, I saw you answered in the chat, but if you could just maybe give kind of a sum up live for us of how did you have to ask for the bags to come back? Uh,
Sure. So we did not ask for the bags back. The first year we did it, I consulted with Family Resource and a few other people in our district, and the consensus I got was they don't always come back in the condition that you give them to, and you never know what's coming back with them. So for food safety and sanitation reasons, we decided that they would get to keep the bag each week. So they are theirs to keep.
Thank you so much for that. Um, a question also that has come up frequently across the board um, is kind of relating to integrity plans. If each one of you want to chime in real quick and share specifically if the children had to be present in order to receive your meals, or if you allowed parent pickup, did you require some kind of registration or verification process from parents or caregivers?
So
We
in,
oh, go ahead.
sorry, go ahead, Mackenzie.
In Kentucky, it's very state to state. I've noticed county to county or sponsor to sponsor, but it is required for us to have sign up. So our sign up opened the 1st of May and it closes May 22nd. And families register for the weeks that they plan on picking out meals and the location they're picking out from. I then take that information and double check it with our Infinite Canvas, our student software. But parents can pick up for their children. Parents or guardians can pick up for their children. Um, but if it's grandma coming to get the meals, if the children are with them, that is okay. So it's either parent or guardian or child. Children must be present.
And that's specifically for your program.
Correct.
Okay. And Lorinda, can you speak to how you guys handled this?
Yes, so we have a registration form, which is strictly for purposes of knowing how many kids are going to participate. We tend to have a lot of bags packed, especially like the first week, and people forget that the program started, even though I send out multiple stuff, post it on social media, on Class Dojo. So this kind of gives me just a number to kind of shoot for. But we do require the kids to be present, but they do not have to register. The registration is strictly for me to know how many to account for. Yeah, so we don't let parents pick them up. The student has to be present, and we do not serve infant meals, so they have to be between 3 and 18 years.
And Christy, how does can you speak a little bit to the requirements for your integrity program?
Yeah, so we do a registration process through a Google Doc that parents go on our school board webpage and fill it out. And it asks several questions like of course, their child's age, the address, and there's boxes they check to give us permission to leave the meal if they're not there, and also for media release. We do not require parents or children to be present. Parents can pick up the meals for their kids. We drop off, but nobody even has to be home. We can leave the meal with a child. We can just leave the meal on the porch.
Thank you for that. And I want to emphasize each one of you worked pretty closely with your state agencies to make sure that you had an approval plan for each of these requirements. Is that correct?
Yes.
So, because I know that there's sponsors in other states and other areas who have different protocol for registration. So it can be very individual to the state. So thank you for breaking that down for us. Let's see. Another question that has come up, if each of you can maybe speak to briefly, a little bit about your meals. Were they frozen, fresh, combination? Did you use bulk? If you didn't already cover this in your presentation, I'm going to give you a chance now to speak up on this issue.
Was that for me? I'm sorry.
That's for everybody.
Okay. I'll go first. Most of ours were frozen, which helped us with the temperatures during transport because our average bus route was about 2 hours, and we tried to do them in the morning. So we froze the milk, and the entrees were frozen. Everything else was fresh. Like we served whole potatoes, sweet potatoes, cucumbers, bagged items, and things like that. It was just a very smooth process.
And in Arizona, all my food is frozen. My juice goes out frozen. My milk is fresh, and so are my fresh veggies and fruits.
In Kentucky, we're a little bit of everything. Fresh produce, our milk comes cold. It is just in the cooler. We don't have the freezer space capacity to freeze our milk, which I would love to do. That'd be great. Shelf stable, frozen, all of the things.
Thank you. I also want to mention there's a couple questions in the chat about revenue and whether or not federal dollars pay for all the expenses associated. I just wanted to speak to that. So the summer meals programs are operated under the SFSP or SSO provision. So that's seamless summer or summer food service provision. And these are federal programs. So nonprofit entities like school districts, but not necessarily have to be school districts, operate these programs, and all excess funds are rolled back into the meal programs. So they are reimbursed through these federal meal programs.
With summer feeding, reimbursement is higher than NSLP or breakfast, and our staff works less hours. So typically we're averaging around 17 hours a week hour week they normally work, and we're getting reimbursed for 7 breakfasts and 7 lunches. So we're bringing in more revenue.
Oh, you're breaking up a little bit, Mackenzie. Uh-oh, I think we lost her for a minute.
I'll go next. So I
Yeah.
think like Mackenzie was trying to say, we have less labor to deal with because we're only prepping one day and working about 6 to 7 hours the other 2 days that we're delivering. So yes, we always come up making money. My usually daily plate cost is about $4.15. That's what it was last year. But as we know, prices fluctuate. And, like I pay for the gas for the buses to go out. And this year it was a lot more money, like $2,000 more than what I spent last year. So, but we do come out over the top. We don't usually have a loss in the 3 years that I've done summer feeding in this school.
Yeah, it's the same for us. We generated a profit, but like I say, it goes back into our school nutrition program. It helps us for the revenue that we lose throughout the school year because we are division-wide CEP.
And I know, Lorinda, you mentioned having to use some of that excess revenue to pay for increases in fuel costs. Christy or Mackenzie, are there any examples you have of ways you were able to use your excess revenue to then benefit the child nutrition programs? Like, were you able to buy a freezer
Oh
or
yeah, of
invest
course.
in
No,
more?
yeah, going back into purchasing equipment, with the rising cost of equipment, our reimbursement for NSLP has not gone up substantially. So there's been, I mean, anywhere from a 5 to 10% increase on equipment. And I don't know about you all, but my equipment is not the brand newest. So whatever it's being replaced, it's going right back into the program. It's not being spent any other way. So this is really our chance to make money to pay for those things. So any serving line remodels, and most of my serving lines are older. I've got a few newer ones, but from 1992. So it's not like I'm frivolously spending to have the best of the best, but it's really just to bring it up to date. But that really is what our summer feeding program goes back into. And also in our district, we pay indirect costs. So it helps offset the price of our indirect cost.
And I also want to call attention to, we have maybe several sponsors of summer meals programs who are not school districts. So if they do generate excess revenue, they can use it to help support their summer meal programs in other ways, whether it's summer meal equipment or increasing access to higher quality fruits and vegetables or higher quality uh, uh, foods as well for their menus. Let's see, there's several other questions. There was one specific one for Christy. Someone said they missed who delivers the meals for you?
So we have nine, well, this year we'll have 11 bus routes. So I have, of course, the bus driver on every bus. I have two of our hired students that we pay on every bus. I have two volunteers on every bus. And then I have one paid staff on every single bus. So I've got about five people on every single bus. And the bus driver never leaves their seat. It's up to the other four individuals to grab the bags and take them off the bus and hand them to the children.
And Christy, another question was, how do you monitor your or do your monitor reviews?
So I ride buses as well. So all of my paid staff, they're responsible. One of them is responsible for just the one review that we have to do. And of course, like I say, I'm on there too. So it gets done. Yeah.
Wonderful,
We
thank
ride the
you.
whole route.
Is there anything else directing the question to all of you now? Anything else that you'd like to add about your programs or share before we move on to our sharing of resources?
If you're just starting out, do not be overwhelmed. It took years to get where I am. It's finally like a well-oiled machine, but it took a lot of trial and error and learning from past mistakes to get it figured out.
Yeah.
Don't feel like you have to take all this information and leave and have it figured out because you will overwhelm yourself.
And I'll add to that too. Don't be scared to try a non-congregate feeding program, even home meals delivery, because like I say, we had 4 weeks to pull it all together, and it was together. And now we've got the groundwork set for the future. And I mean, take a chance because it's a great thing, and I hope it never ends. I hope USDA allows this forever.
Yeah, and I think just what the both of the ladies said, it is a good program. It feeds our kids in the summer, especially when you're in an area where the parents are at work and kids can't go pick up food. So, I mean, it's totally worth it. By the end of the summer, you just feel better because you know these kids were fed. So,
All right. Oh, I got a couple more questions in here. I'll just ask real quick. Did any of you actually serve infant meals during the summer? That was a specific question.
No.
No.
no. Mm-mm.
And did you distribute unitized meals and bulk food components together on the same days?
In the state of Kentucky, we're not allowed to. So we can do some bulk items, gallons of milk. We do 48 ounces of juice. But aside from that, we can't do, I have not been approved for any other bulk items.
In
And I
Virginia,
don't serve bulk items.
I do in Virginia. I had to get permission for it, but like we serve 10 days of meals. I don't think I mentioned that anywhere. And every delivery, every other week, it was 10 days of breakfast, 10 days of lunches in the same delivery. So we served multiple items in bulk. Of course, the milk, every child got 3 half gallons of milk. And then they got like 5 white potatoes, 5 sweet potatoes, 8 apples, things like that. So we were allowed to serve bulk, yes.
So it just goes to show, definitely have to work with your state agency to see. I know menu requirements can vary sometimes by state and also based on the program that you're operating. So definitely reach out to your state agency with questions and ideas that you might have on how to operate your summer meals program. Um, let's go ahead and go to the next slide. I want to just share some resources because I know we have a lot of folks on the call who are might be new to summer meals or looking for new methods to improve their program. So I encourage you all to visit our Center for Best Practices. I threw that in the chat. We have multiple resources for various programs, but if you visit our Center for Best Practices.nookandhungry.org, you can see we have so many summer meals resources to help you get started and to help break down not just summer meal programs, but rural non-congregate and even methods on for different program types and menu ideas. I also have some summer resources we will be sending out to you in the wrap-up email. So stay tuned for those. Next slide. And we have 2 more webinars left in our Summer Meals series. You definitely don't want to miss them. If you have already registered for them, please double check that they are on your calendar so that you will have access to them on that day. So the next one is going to be next week, May 20th. It's Beyond the Flyer, next level promotion for summer meal success. We're very excited to have some No Kid Hungry experts on social media use, and we also have a guest nutrition director who is going to be speaking about some winning strategies that she used to promote her program. So you definitely don't want to miss that. We'll also be going through a deep dive of our Summer Meals Outreach Toolkit. It's got amazing resources, including flyers that you can use in Edit and Canva, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel designing new things. Please use our resources so that it can make your lift a little bit lighter. And then finally, our last webinar on Wednesday, June 10th, will be all about home delivery models and how they could work for your community. So you don't want to miss that one. I'm also going to put the registration link in the chat for you in case you are not already registered. And finally, our summertime snack newsletter. Please be sure you are signed up to receive the latest updates in summer meals. We've got webinars, resources, templates. This is a monthly seasonal newsletter, so we only have about 5 or 6 a year, so you can keep an eye out for that, and you can always stay abreast of all the new summer meals information coming from No Kid Hungry. Next slide. And then also, we are going to have a quick 5-question survey as you complete this webinar. Please do take a moment to answer those questions. We read every single response, and we really want to know what's going to be of value for you for future webinars. So please take a moment to fill that out. Next slide. And I just want to say thank you all so much for spending this time with us for our summer webinar series. Huge thank you to our wonderful panelists, Christy, Mackenzie, and Lorinda, for joining us. And we hope you all enjoyed this webinar and look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great afternoon, everyone.